I spent about, I don't know how much time trying to beat back all these people on podcast and radio, and I just continuously hear people talking over and over about racism this and race that and all these different things having to do with race. And then if it's not that, then they're talking about gender, and then they're talking about, some other kind of thing like trans, or they're talking about, you know what, inequalities in the marketplace, or all these different things. And some of them have some valid points, especially the marketplace. The marketplace has been so completely bastardized that by the government regulation and different things, it'll be difficult to ever get back to a true market that regulates itself. I mean, in a pristine world, supply and demand is what it's about. But when you have corrupt politicians throwing in some special little things here and there that only their friends and people that support their campaigns can afford, it keeps people like you and me out of the market as far as jumping in, because now we have to jump over 15 hoops just to, file a paper to be with the Secretary of State and be in that business. But the main thing too is I've ranted about this. I know people get all tied up in these words that a lot of these liberals over the years have come up with, like race. Okay, there is only one race. I've said that in many videos, so I don't know what to tell you. But I hear so many people still just on and on. And I hear people, even in academia, they get in there and they start talking about, they're against this or that and the other, and why they're right, and how they're trying to educate kids and all this stuff. And then they start talking about race. That right there tells me that you need to go and take some biology courses and study some things too. And I can't get them on them that much, because I played along with that game and was fooled for a long time myself. I'm just trying to break through this barrier. So I'm asking you, when you hear people talk about that, ask them, how many races are there? Because race is not a skin color. Race is not an ethnicity. Race, we are all the human race. So if you want to talk about these other things, which liberals don't want you talking about, because then you start getting down to things that you might find some solutions about. All this talk about diversity and I don't know, separate but equal stuff and all this, and as far as integration, that all sounds good, and I have nothing against it. I'm a freedom person. If that's what you want to do it. But there's reasons why certain people, like Christians, don't really, they don't really intertwine well with other religions. And same way with Jewish people. They pretty much don't try to break their necks to get involved with Muslim people, for example, or Christians or Hindus. Same way with them. They all kind of keep apart. But then our government tries to, force an integration or something, because they think because of skin color or some type of a false definition of race that we got to do this. That's the only way we're going to solve this. No, that's not it. The main problems we have in this country is fatherless homes, which was brought about by government regulation when they started subsidizing mothers with single kids. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't help people, but when you get to a point where you're subsidizing it, pretty much through fiat, then, who needs a father in the home? If you have a baby, you can just get you some money from the government, and get you some other help from the government, some food help, some rent help, some whatever. But that's not a good life, is it? I mean, I don't see a lot of, I mean, I see people break out of that. I'm not saying it can't help somebody that really needs it. I'm just saying that you don't want to create a system where it's doing that, right? You don't. And the same way with these endless wars. And I agree with, I posted something about Julian Assange talking about that. I think it's has a lot to do with money laundering. I'm just going to be blunt. I believe there's a lot of money that, I mean, the richest place on earth probably is the United States Treasury. You know, Fort Knox, that type of thing. And I believe there's been a lot of corrupt politicians that have understood that, as well as the mafia or anybody else would. And they understand if they can send some money out of this country, first of all, it kind of loses track. You can't track it as well. They can send money out of this country and to somebody that they've talked to over there in wherever Afghanistan or Ukraine or someplace or wherever, then those people get the money and they know that to keep it flowing, they're going to kick some back somehow through a Swiss bank account or whatever it may be, from here to there. You know, they're going to put it in a bank account, or they're going to either that, or they're going to hire some American company here that's friends with that senator or congressman to help them get that money. Now, this big construction company over here or airplane company or whatever is going to now get that contract and be able to install toilets or whatever, you know, a $500 toilet for $100,000 all day, or, you know, they're going to make some plans to do it and never do it. Like, my understanding, that's what happened to Haiti. They had got billions of dollars and never even built a house. I think they're supposed to build all these houses. I don't think they have. That's the last I heard. Anyway, I may not be right on that, but that's everything. Every report I've seen questions that and what happened to the money that went to supposed to go to Haiti. So you have those things, and see how that filters back then is those people that get those contracts, they make sure they give donations to those senators and congressmen to help get them reelected again, right? And then those senators and congressmen with all that campaign money, when they have these events, they also use the event planners they want. They use the attorneys they want. They use the caterers they want. And they pay them well, because those people also turn around and give some more of that money back. So it's kind of just like a never-ending flow, and that lets them be able to go places and use some of that campaign money to move. Because I'm campaigning, I'm going to out of the country, in the country, all around the country, and I'm having dinners, and I'm driving the best cars, and I'm buying whatever for my campaign, and then keep it going like that until, you know, like some of these representatives have just recently retired early, which I would probably, if I had given any money to their campaign, I didn't, thank God, because they're rhinos, I would want some of my money back. You know, you're going to quit the job I'd help get you into. But they were never Trumpers, and they didn't even vote for impeaching Mayorkas, Buck, and this cat from, I don't know, Wisconsin or something that quit or is going to quit in April. They're all trying to do their best to ruin the party, the GOP, because they're rhinos anyway. Let's just cut to the chase. That's what it is. So that you got that going on. So you have all these examples of things like that go on, and they keep that going until they get tired of that job, and then they probably have had, you know, like these two rhinos, they probably have had somebody approach them in a lobbying company or something, and now they're going to go and work for them and make even more money. There's a reason why people that only make, supposedly as a representative or senator, you know, a couple $100,000 a year, they end up like AOC has already got millions of dollars, or that DA in New York that's got millions of dollars, or Fannie, whatever her name is, down in Georgia, who makes $175,000 a year or something like that. And she's got millions of dollars all of a sudden. These people are getting money given to them. And why do you think that is? Exactly. Why do you think people give money to people in power? Do you know? I think you do. So, hey, I do these videos because I'd like to have a dialogue with you. I'd like to see your comments below and hear what you got to say about it. And maybe I can make some comments on those comments. I think it's very important for all of us to get involved. So if you would, please subscribe and hit the like button. And if I put another video up somewhere, please check that out too. But it would be really good if you would help me out in that regard. Thank you.